A handful of details are included in vehicle tracking to enhance final deliverables. In this project example, I'll show how to insert a turn template diagram, a steering articulation graph, and vehicle profile for the vehicle that I used in my swept path analysis. I'll also display vertical clearance along my design profile. Insert a ground conflict report. First, I will insert a turn template diagram for my vehicle. Going up to the Search Path panel, select the template option. Here I can choose my template to a file. I can send it to a DXF file, or in my case, I'm going to insert it into my current drawing file. I'll set the scale to 1 unit equals to 1 foot and select next. I'm going to make sure my default vehicle is selected that I used on my swept path and select finish. It will prompt me for an insertion point on inside of my drawing file. I will select the diagram location over here, right over no graphics, and I will view the turning diagram. This is the information that was used to create the maneuvers in my swept path analysis. Next, I will create a steering and articulation graph. I can do this from the swept path panel and select the command insert graph. The command line will prompt me to select my path, and I will take my aperture box over the top of my path and select it. I'll see right away on the screen my graph displaying. I'll pick a location for my graph just to the right of my graphics. When it's finished, I can see the graph on the screen. If I zoom in really close to the lower left hand corner, I can see the legend denoted in I can see the steering angles denoted in green and spine articulation angle denoted in red. And now I will insert a diagram of my vehicle profile into the drawing. I'll go up to the swept path panel and I will select the option to insert profile. It will prompt me to select drawing, so I will select the path with my aperture box. It will ask me to select the location for my vehicle profile. In this case, I'm going to put it over here to the left of my drawing area. I'll zoom in and I will locate the profile. The profile diagram will be plotted into my drawing file. This information is taken from Vehicle Library Explorer. After the steering and articulation graph has been placed into the drawing along with the vehicle profile, they cannot be deleted. If you need to remove those from your drawing file, you can go into the swept path properties. Here I can select my swept path with my aperture box and go into the report settings. Inside of the report settings, I can expand the report that I am going to use all my objects or features in my drawing. I'll notice there is an option now for profile in graph. So if I want to turn those items off as I'm working inside of my drawing, I could just deselect those items and select OK. Now I can get back into my drawing file and continue with some of my detailing. Now I will display the vertical clearance of my vehicle along my design profile. In my drawing file, I have zoomed into my profile view and now I would like to analyze or display the vertical clearance. I'll go to Swift Help panel and I will select the command for vertical clearance. It will want me to make sure I select my default vehicle and select yes. It will prompt me to select the object that I would like to analyze. In this case, I am going to select my design profile in the drawing. It indicates that I should check the unit out inside of my vehicle details just to make sure I have the right clearance values for both unit of my vehicle. I'll go ahead and select yes. Now I'll see on my screen it put in a vertical clearance profile into my profile view. You will see if you look really close, the outline will show us where the body of the vehicle is as it traces over the design profile. To look at this more thoroughly, I can go up to the swept path panel and I can add an outline into my profile swept path. I can use this track to track through my profile and see if there's any places where my vehicle is going to bottom out. As I move through here, I can see the vehicle bed, I can see the tires. So I use the dialog box here to display my chassis outline. And now I will roll the vehicle over the top of the profile, and looking really closely we can see the green line at the bottom indicates kind of a threshold where my vehicle is going to bottom out. So I can analyze along this area of my vehicle is going to make this clearance. Now for the detailing element of this, I can leave this outline inside of my profile. So that I can show my design. I'm making the clearance that is required. The last detailed item that I would like to add in my drawing file is a ground clearance report. I can run a ground clearance report to see if my vehicle travels over top of my final surface without bottoming out. To do this, I'm going to go to the swept path panel and I'm going to select the option to insert a ground conflict report. It will prompt me to select the vehicle path from the drawing, so I'll pick it up from my aperture box. I'll get an error message indicating that the vehicle I'm using has some default clearance value set. I'm going to go ahead and select yes to proceed. I'm going to have to generate my profiles and conflicts for me. Inside of my drawing file, it is going to denote the areas that are either in conflict with my surface or represent the critical points, the low point of clearance along my swept path. Here I will zoom into the AA section that it is denoted. You will see the label indicates my minimum clearance at that point is 0.21 feet. So I'm really close to bottoming out at this point. It will display contours here so I can see the severity of the closeness that I get to the surface being indicated with brighter color contours. If I go up just a little way, I will see another section along my path. This one indicates a little bit more clearance. You can see that's analyzing the over my forward and reverse maneuvers. Now I can see these cross sections by zooming out inside of my drawing file. In the drawing file, the vehicle tracking added in two cross sections. For AA, it's displaying here the existing ground in green and it's showing me my vehicle outline is just clearing the existing ground. On the other one, it's showing the exact same thing. It's showing me my vehicle compared to the existing ground. This information can be helpful to display inside of a drawing file to show I have the proper vehicle clearance on my job.